Hi guys, welcome, and let's talk about Shallan Davar. This will be my third video on her, and based on the third book in the Stormlight Archive, Oathbringer. You will want to have read Oathbringer before watching this, otherwise you're getting yourself some spoilers. But seriously, spoiler warning, this is a character study video. You need to read about her before we can talk about her. And as I'm looking over my notes of what I wanted to say about Shallan in this video, a lot of what I'm talking about is about her relationships with the people around her, because these relationships grow and change a lot from the previous two books. At the beginning of Oathbringer, the two relationships I see her struggling with the most are with Adolin and Pattern. And it's not so much that she's struggling with her relationship with Adolin, but it's almost like she sees it as too good to be true. She's so worried about messing things up with him. And when we see things from his point of view, he's afraid of messing things up with her. Neither of them have ever had a successful relationship before, and they're not sure they're going to be able to make it work, but we see that they're both determined to make it work. She kind of can't believe that he actually likes her. She can be her weird self, and not only is he fine with it, he finds it attractive. Shallan's not used to that. She's used to holding it in and hiding herself. But beyond that, she has some pretty dark secrets in her past, and she is terrified that if Adolin finds out those dark things about her, he won't want her anymore. He'll find out what kind of person she actually is, and then that will ruin it, if she doesn't ruin ahead of time by being herself. And then her relationship with Pattern has kind of some stress on it. At the end of Words of Radiance, Pattern kind of forces her to confront another one of her painful memories. The memory of killing her mother. And this is necessary for them to grow in their bond. She has to speak truths. Her truths just happen to be so much more painful than other Lightweavers might be. And so when we get to Oathbringer, we see Shallan using what she's learned about self-preservation and putting that onto her relationship with Pattern. Shallan, to deal with her pain, creates other personalities that can deal with that pain. And so what she's doing with Pattern is giving him separate personalities so she can deal with it. Pattern and the sword, in her mind, she has to split them apart to be able to deal with it. They cannot be the same for her. She even tells him she doesn't hate him. She hates the sword. That confuses poor Pattern, who's trying so hard to understand humans. And Pattern, he offers to die if she thinks that'll help. But the thought of losing him terrifies her. That's not really what she wants. That's not what she needs. She wants him to stay there with her. She just doesn't really know how to deal with the memories yet. Oh, and now Adolin wants to train her to use Pattern as a sword. She's a Knight Radiant. She should be learning this. This makes sense. So he makes the offer. She accepts, but spirals into what is a panic attack. I don't think the book calls it a panic attack or says she's panicking, but the way she reacts, if you've ever had a panic attack, it's very obvious that that is what is happening to her. And so her self-preservation mechanism kicks in, and along comes Radiant. The new personality that can deal with waving a sword and fighting and interacting with knights and being the woman that she doesn't feel like she is. She kind of loosely bases Radiant off of Jasnah, who she admires and sees as such a strong and confident and capable woman. And that's what Radiant can be when Shallan feels like she can't. And Radiant can handle Pattern turning into a sword. And speaking of personalities, she really starts to embrace Veil more in this book. Veil can accomplish the things that she can't accomplish. And so she practices with Veil and uses her. Veil is kind of a tool for Shallan in this one, and sometimes an escape when Shallan feels like she needs to get out of her own mind. A couple more relational things to talk about here. Shallan has gotten very used to the freedom she's had since getting to the Shattered Plains and then to Urithiru. So when Jasnah shows up, yay, rejoice! Jasnah's alive! The Ghostbloods didn't actually kill her, but oh, now I don't have all the freedom I had. I'm being treated like a young ward again. I'm not sure I like this very much. So before, in Words of Radiance, where Shallan feels so happy, like she's finding joy being Jasnah's ward, this is something that can really bring joy to her life. Now that same thing is kind of making her chafe. She doesn't like it. She wants some freedom. And she figures out a way to run away from Jasnah by joining Elokar's team to go to Kholinar. And her relationship with her men, her soldiers? Adolin challenges her here because once they get to Urithiru, she doesn't really know what to have them do. She doesn't know what job to give them. And he's like, hey, they need something to do. They need to feel useful. They need to feel like they have a purpose for you. And she realizes he's right, but she doesn't really know what to do about it. She ends up kind of turning them into her spies in training, and later on discovers that they can become her squires, like the Windrunner squires. In fact, Vatha looks like he's going to cry, or actually cries, I don't remember. He gets so emotional when he accidentally light weaves. Who knows what kind of emotions this guy has been going through to suddenly find out he's one of these radiant people that are becoming the heroes in this story, thanks to Shallan. Her relationship with the Ghost Bloods is interesting here. She doesn't want to give fully of herself to them, but they kind of dangle over her the fate of her brothers, and they are trying really hard to get her to join them fully. They want her to get the tattoo, commit, be one of them. She's not sure she wants to, but she does like having this little side thing that's a secret from everybody else. Gives her that little bit of taste of freedom, like, I'm a grown-up, I can make my own decisions, while kind of telling herself that she can accomplish something and do something good here. I don't know, that kind of seems like an excuse to be sneaky, but whatever. And let's talk about her time in Kholinar and her big breakdown. I'm not going to go into much about Wit here. He'll get his own video eventually, but he is a big part of Shallan's journey in this point in the book. He is there for her. He knows what to say to her. He kind of knows how to bring her up out of the despair she's fallen into. Shallan didn't just volunteer to go to Kholinar to get away from Yasna. She does want to accomplish good. She wants to be a Knight Radiant and be a hero. And so as she's trying to help Adolin and Elokar and Kaladin figure out the bigger picture stuff, she's also trying to just help normal people. She's like the Robin Hood figure, steal from the rich, give to the poor, make a difference in their lives. This is making her feel fulfilled as a person and as kind of the heroic figure. I can do something solid and concrete to help people. And then she's confronted with just how not even useless what she was trying to do was, but how she actually made things worse. And for someone like her who already feels kind of like a monster and like someone who only ruins things and breaks things, and she herself is broken, to find out that she has been actually making things worse for the people she's been trying to help, this breaks her down. She has a mental breakdown. Wit finds her just lying in a building. She, at this point, can no longer ignore her pain. And the way she feels right now, knowing all the things that she has done, the people she's killed or caused to be killed, she is at the point now where she feels like she deserves to die. Wit is not having any of that. And he says and does just what she needs. He is gentle with her, but he is firm. He doesn't lie to her. He tells her a truth that she can accept. Yes, you have great pain. Yes, you've done some bad things. As wise as Wit is, he reassures her that he can't judge the worth of a life. Why should she think she can? If he lied to her, I think Pattern would have noticed. But he won't leave her until he feels safe leaving her. That she's at least accepted what he's trying so hard to tell her, which is accept the pain, but don't accept that you deserved it. And at this point, she's been through so much trauma. She's not better. She's not healed, but she feels like she can get up and go on with life for now. She's not happy, but she's a lot less sad. Okay, then, battle in the palace. Gotta defeat some enemies. It does not go well. They have to escape. They can't get home. They escape into Shadesmar. They're not sure if they'll be able to make it home through Shadesmar or which way is the best. And Shallan is a big part of helping them get through. And besides the physical journey through the cognitive realm, whatever, their actual journey, she's still going through her own personal journey. Part of this is when Adolin finds her in a moment of distress, and he comes along to comfort her. He does not like seeing her in this much pain. And without straight up telling her that she doesn't have to hide from him, he makes her feel safe and secure. She feels like she can be herself with him. It's okay. This is part of what makes him so good for her. She doesn't have to hide when she's with Adolin. Oh, and this is where Adolin confesses to her that he's the one who killed Sadeas. I think this is a good little thing in their relationship because it makes Adolin a little less perfect and a little more relatable to Shallan. He can understand keeping secrets and hiding pain and having murdered somebody, but he is not broken. A broken person can hardly be there for another broken person at the same time. So although he can understand some of what she's feeling, he can still be there and be strong for her. And also on this journey, she has a little conversation with Kaladin about her pain. He wonders how she can have gone through so much or done so much and still be able to laugh and smile, because that's not Kaladin's personality, and he wonders how she can do it. And this is where she admits to him how she does handle it. By hiding it, pushing it down, pressing it down. She doesn't know any other way. He says he wishes he could do that, but she's not so sure it's actually better. It's just all she knows how to do. And here's where the dynamic between Shallan and Kaladin and Adolin really, I don't know, crisscrosses. I don't think there's ever really a love triangle, as much as some people like to say that there is. I don't think Shallan is ever actually really tempted by Kaladin. Yeah, he's handsome. She admires that. She likes to draw pictures of him. But there's something that Kaladin can offer her as a friend that Adolin just can't. And that is that Adolin is not broken. Shallan and Kaladin both are, and this is something that gives them mutual understanding. They can look at the other person's pain and say, I know how you feel. Adolin is good and kind and wonderful, and I think the perfect person for Shallan, but he will never truly understand her pain, feeling like she's going to break apart, or literally split into these personalities, or feeling like she's crazy. Kaladin can. He can understand the pain, understand feeling like his mind is not working. So while I don't think there was ever really the chance for romance between Shallan and Kaladin, they can be the friend for each other that no one else can. So you've read the book, you know that they eventually get back to the physical realm, and we get to see Shallan being a cool and powerful light weaver. She basically sends an entire army of images at the enemy, distracting them enough to help her side win. But it's hard on her. It causes some stress because each one of those images that she sends is like a little splinter of her that are getting hacked down. This wearies her as if she were actually physically fighting in the battle, and she relies heavily on Radiant and Veil for strength. The book describes them as holding hands with her, giving her strength. But she meets up with Jasnah, and she sees Jasnah using soul casting in the battle, and realizes how much she's been missing out on one of her abilities that she should have been practicing. She feels a little guilty for running away from Jasnah. The whole point of her wardship was to learn, and she could have been learning so much, and she ran away. I don't know if you were in any doubt about how her relationship with Adolin was going to go. I don't think I was. I never saw her and Kaladin getting together. But when she reassures him so strongly that he is the one for her, that is a nice little moment. We see Adolin, the strong and confident knight, feeling so insecure. He's just a mere human among radiants. He kind of doesn't feel like he deserves her right now. And then she goes listing off all the wonderful qualities that he has and is like, why wouldn't I want you? Because you don't fly? Things kind of get wrapped up for her at this point with the wedding scene, or pre-wedding scene. We don't actually see the wedding, but I love the wedding gifts that she gets. I love that Kaladin gives her boots. This is just a fun callback. It's part of their friendship that they have grown in, that he can just send boots as a wedding present. It's just this nice moment. But the biggest gift she gets is her brothers from Rays, with strings attached. But at least they're there and they're safe. And so Shallan gets married and lives happily ever after, right? Except there's more books. Alright guys, a little real talk from my real life. My due date is in like 5 weeks from when this video will come out. So I'm not sure how often I'll be putting out videos for the next few months, but there will be more videos. So if you enjoyed this character study, subscribe to this channel. My social links are in the description, and I'll see you next time. Bye!